Hello and welcome back to another Premier League prediction show. This time we're going to be predicting the scores of Week 15 of this 2022-2023 Premier League season. Before we get into these predictions though, let's have a quick look back at how we got on last week. The top scorer last week was Frank Sidebottom with a magnificent score of 14 points, but just the one perfect score. So what does that mean for the overall leaderboard now? Well, top of the shop yet again is Ferris77 on 128.5 points. Second place we've got Caleb Ken on 126 points. Last week, some idiot forgot to submit most of their scores on the Superbru website.
Yeah,
this guy.
It's the fixture congestion, isn't it?
It was,
because of the World Cup.
Definitely. But we move on, get down to business, and make the predictions for Week 15.
Okay, so first up we have Leeds against Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth last time around, very unlucky not to beat Spurs, losing 3-2, bottle it in the last minute. 2 goals from Kiefer Moore, which is what we always love to see.
Kiefer Moore.
Bring on the World Cup, bring it on. And then Leeds, of course, 2-1 against Liverpool. Joe Gomez, what was he doing? And then, of course, that Somerville goal to end it. Difficult one for me to predict in this one, just because of how bad Liverpool are at the moment, and Leeds I'm still not convinced, to be honest. I'm going to go for a solid 2-0 Bournemouth away win at Ellen Road.
Wow, Bournemouth victory.
You know me though, never backing Leeds.
2-0. Well, I'm going to go 2-1 to Leeds at home. They're going to be full of energy and everything going into this match against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, as we know, scored a couple of goals last weekend, but ultimately they lost their third match on the trot. They're heading towards the relegation zone, only 2 points above that zone now. So
I thought they played well against Spurs though, even though Spurs have been a bit iffy as well.
They did. So yeah, 2-1 to the home side for me in that match. Moving on to the second match, again a 3 o'clock kickoff. Good to see. We've got Man City against Fulham. Manchester City, I believe they're in Champions League action over the next couple of nights. Recording this actually on a Tuesday evening, coming up against a Fulham side who overall have done well this season. Actually, they're in 7th position.
Very good form.
A 0-0 home draw against Everton, and they actually did play really well in that fixture too. But
I think Fulham should have won it.
Indeed. Coming up against Manchester City side, full of goals. Haaland, will he be back? I think he's being rested for the midweek Champions League game. So it's probably going to be a bit tighter than my scoreline, but I am going to go for a 3-0 home victory to the Citizens.
Interesting. I'm going to go one better actually on that, and with the way that Bournemouth have been scoring recently, I'm going to stick a Fulham goal in there as well. So I'm going to say 4-1 to Manchester City.
Wow. Mitrovic perhaps for Fulham? Could be another Bobby Decordova-Reid, or even a Andreas as well.
Who knows really? I don't know why just Fulham have been really impressing me this season. Anyway, moving on. Next we've got Wolves against Brighton. Now Brighton 4-1 against a very arrogant Chelsea side under Graham Potter. I mean,
2 own goals in that.
2 own goals, playing only 3 defenders. So attacking Chelsea went in that one. And then Wolves not impressed. Well,
second from bottom, aren't they? So.
Second from bottom, not impressed. Going with Steve Davis until after the World Cup. Don't know how that's going to play out, to be honest, but it's good to see that Wolves are taking their time with the managerial appointment there and they're not rushing into anything because they want to look to build on a long-term plan. As with the prediction, I'm going to go 3-0 Brighton.
3-0?
Yeah, I think with lots of confidence. Brighton playing really well under De Zerbi. Yeah, 3-0.
Didn't Costa get his
yes, he did. 97th minute red card.
Ridiculous.
Straight red as well.
Wasn't it? It's ridiculous. So he's going to be missing. Brighton first victory in 6 for them for that well-deserved 4-1 victory against Chelsea. I think they'll win here. I think they'll win 2-0 because sometimes Wolves can put up a bit of a defensive wall. Moving on to the 5:30 fixture, live on Sky, we've got Everton versus Leicester. Leicester turning their fortunes around. They are third from bottom, though still. Danny Ward, superlative in goals.
Only 1-0 loss to Man City as well. Keeping up, but no Haaland, of course.
Decent. It was decent. I think they will get a point here against Everton, but Everton, a tough cookie to crack as well. Everton haven't conceded in the last 2 matches, but I think they will concede here. But I am going to go for a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, I'm just going to back Leicester on that one, I think, just because of the way they've been playing recently. Very unlucky against Man City. Ever since Brenda got put under the pressure, he started to really put the accelerator on, and they're starting to get a good run of form, and they're actually one of the most informed sides in the league at the moment. So I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester for this one. Anyway, next up we have got the Sunday matches. First one at midday on BT between Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal 5-0 against Nottingham Forest, full stop. 31 points, top of the league, can't get much better than that. And then Chelsea, Graham Potter going in absolutely arrogantly with his team selection against Brighton, going in with too much confidence, thinking he's going to be hero worship there because of all he's done and all of that. And then obviously got schooled there. Arsenal absolutely flying. There's so much positivity around them in with their fans. The togetherness is there as well. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
Interesting. I'm going to go exactly the same scoreline. I think Chelsea will score in this one. Arsenal in decent form, coming into this full of vigour. Tight match. Arsenal looking really good. I think Jesus is he's 1 card away from a suspension though. But as you say, exactly the same as you, Nathan. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Gunners. Then we move on to the 2:00 kickoff between Aston Villa and Manchester United.
First of all, good evening.
Good evening. He didn't have a very good evening last time, did he?
Well, this is his first day in charge because he's still waiting for his permits today. So
he got thumped, didn't they? 4-0 away to Newcastle in the North East. And Manchester United currently in 5th position. Man United been very, very, very good at home. Not that great away from home. However, Villa looking dodgy. He has had a full week with these Villa players, but I'm going to go for 2-0 away victory to the Red Devils. Yeah,
I don't think that's actually correct. It's only going to be a few days because he actually arrived at the training ground first today. They're waiting for things to be approved.
I'm sure he's been on the telephone to his coaches.
More than likely. I will say that while Man United haven't had the greatest away form, there's something about that Villa side that gives me alarm bells, and I think it's going to be the first Man United away victory in a while. So I'm going to go 1-0.
The 9th of October where they beat Everton.
Yeah, well, that's Everton though, isn't it? Well, I'm going to go a 1-0 narrow to the Red Devils in this one. Anyway, next up we've got Southampton against Newcastle United. Now, Southampton really not impressing me. I think Hassan Hootel, I don't know, losing to Palace, who have been very inconsistent as of late as well. But they're just flying, aren't they, Newcastle? They've only lost 1 match this season, which is exactly the same as, I believe, Manchester City and Arsenal. Scoring on all cylinders, 6 wins, 6 draws. Scoring for fun. I mean, in their last couple of matches, they've beaten Fulham 4-1. They've beaten Brentford 5-1. They've beaten Tottenham 2-1. They've scored 4 against Aston Villa. I think that trend's going to continue. And I think they're going to put 4 past Southampton. You never know, they might even put 9 past them, considering that hasn't happened yet this season.
4, you think?
Yes, 4.
I'm going to go 1 less. Almiron is flying, seems to be scoring every week.
Joe Linton's playing well. Callum Wilson, provided he doesn't get injured. People who've got Almiron in their side in fantasy football are living life at the moment. And if you had Wilson last week, he was involved in all 4 goals, scoring 2 and assists for the other 2 as well. Southampton at home, they do seem to give a lot of teams trouble, so I think they will score, but ultimately I think the Magpies are going to have too much for them defensively and in attack, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 scoreline, and they're still missing players as well. Then we move on to the next match, which is between West Ham and Crystal Palace. Now this one is going to be very, very Palace
tight.
Concern me with their recent form.
Palace, they're actually above West Ham in the table. They did win. They beat Southampton last week. They are inconsistent. However, Palace,
very good at home, terrible away.
They haven't actually won a single match away from home this season. So I'm going to have to go for a victory to West Ham in this one. But it will be tight, and I Going to go for a 2-1 scoreline. Last season it was 2-2 in the same fixture.
Yeah, for me that trend is going to continue with West Ham. I'm going to go with a narrow 1-0, I think. Palace, of course, they're going to want to get a good run of form going after they did beat Southampton. Only 1-0, not too convincing, and then being destroyed by Everton. So yeah, 1-0 West Ham for me. And finally, we've got the 4:30 match on Sky between Spurs and Liverpool. What on earth is going on there? Imagine losing to Leeds. And Spurs not too great either. Yes, they did manage to narrowly beat Bournemouth in the last few minutes, but losing to Newcastle, they have had difficult fixtures.
Newcastle, Man United and Arsenal, their 3 losses in the last 6.
That's true.
I wouldn't, that's... Can you read that too much into that?
Yeah, it is a tricky one. If it was at Anfield, probably would have said a draw, to be honest, but Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, yeah, I'm going to edge Spurs in this one 2-1.
Yeah, Liverpool 4 victories out of their 12 fixtures so far this season. Haven't won away from home, so against a Spurs side, they're not probably going to pick up 3 points. There's a possibility of a draw in this one. They have beaten the likes of Manchester City and Newcastle this season, but that was at Anfield. So both in Europe tonight. Liverpool are playing Napoli. Imagine if they get smashed tonight by Napoli. I'm going to go, it's going to be tight, but I'm going to go for a Spurs win just. I'm going to go for a 1-0 scoreline. So that concludes our predictions for week 15 of this 2022-2023 Premier League season. As usual, make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. I'm going to try and remember to do mine. I filled it out a few already. Yours as well. Nathan, this coming weekend, will there be a vlog or a watch along? Because Cardiff are away at Sunderland.
So Watford tomorrow night, that'll be a vlog. That'll be out on Thursday. And as for, because we're definitely not going to Sunderland with the way things are at the moment, train strikes, the price, the fact that they won't even let fans take coins into the stadium.
That's ridiculous.
What is going on up there? Yeah. Or even disposable vapes as well.
It's crazy. If you want to buy a pork pie or a pint with your hard-earned golden £1 coins, you can't do it.
It's the most Sunderland thing ever, isn't it?
Terrible.
But yeah, 30 quid a ticket, no, just absolutely not. There might be a watch along, who knows, to be honest.
If you can get a stream.
I rate the 500 to 750 fans going up there that way. That is really good.
Trains as well. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So for travelling conscription.
Yeah, watch out for that vlog for the Watford match. Maybe a watch along, maybe a chat along or something like that.
Rant along.
There's going to be fireworks this weekend, being it's bonfire weekend, fireworks weekend, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. As usual, enjoy your Premier League weekend, and we'll see you all in the next video.
I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.